The time 8:45 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here's the news edited by Lal Malavarachi and read by Tilani Pires. A systematic program will be implemented to disinfect school premises before they will be opened on the 11th of January next year. Another flight carrying more Ukrainian tourists arrived at the Matala airport. The army chief said that they would discuss as to which COVID-19 vaccines will be recommended by the WHO for Sri Lanka. The total count of COVID-19 cases reported in Sri Lanka reached 42,056. Police say a special operation will be launched island-wide from today to Thursday to arrest quarantine regulations violators. And on news overseas, India confirms 6 cases of new COVID variant. The Minister of Education, Professor G.L. Pires, says that a systematic program will be implemented to disinfect school premises before they will be opened on the 11th of January next year. All classrooms will be cleaned and sanitized. A health room will be set up in each school in case of an emergency to give primary health care to students. Another flight carrying more Ukrainian tourists has arrived at the Matala International Airport, MIA, this afternoon. The flight arrived from Kiev, Ukraine, with 204 tourists and 9 crew members. Meanwhile, 180 more Ukrainian tourists arrived in Sri Lanka yesterday, and all of them underwent PCR testing upon arrival. They were directed to selected hotels in Koggala and Bentota. The Minister of Tourism stated that they will be subjected to a PCR test once again following several days. Meanwhile, health authorities have decided to increase the number of daily PCR screenings to attract more migrant workers and tourists in the future. The authorities concerned will hold a special discussion with World Health Organization (WHO) regarding COVID-19 vaccines to Sri Lanka, Army Commander General Shavendra Silva said. Director General of Health Services Dr. Asela Gunawardena and Army Commander are scheduled to attend the discussion with the WHO representatives. The Army Chief said that they would discuss as to which COVID-19 vaccines will be recommended by the WHO for Sri Lanka and also about the process of importing them. He said they would discuss the import a suitable vaccine from Pfizer from the USA, Oxford AstraZeneca from UK, or Sputnik V vaccine from Russia. Earlier, the WHO has pledged to provide 20% of Sri Lanka's population with COVID-19 vaccine once developed. Lieutenant General Silva said they would also ascertain the quantity of vaccines to be provided to Sri Lanka by the WHO. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The Ministry of Health says that 704 patients being treated for COVID-19 have recovered and discharged from hospitals within the last 24 hours. This brings the total number of COVID-19 recoveries in the country to 33,925. Meanwhile, 530 persons have tested positive for the virus within the last 24 hours. The total count of COVID-19 cases reported in Sri Lanka reached 42,056 as more persons were tested positive for the virus. The Department of Government Information said 453 more fresh cases have been detected within the day. 7,484 are under medical care presently. Officer in charge OIC of the Beruala Police has been confirmed to have contracted the coronavirus infection. It is revealed that his wife and the 2 children have also contracted the virus. Minister Mahinda Amaraveera says that it was decided to postpone the provincial council election at the party leaders' meeting. He said that the decision was taken considering the coronavirus pandemic, requests of the Mahasangha and the present situation in the country. Minister Amaraveera mentioned this during a media briefing at the Environment Ministry today. That ends local news for now.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
Police media spokesman DIG Ajit Rohana stated that a special police operation will be launched island-wide from today to Thursday 31st to arrest those who are violating the quarantine regulations. He also said that steps will be taken to raid parties and gatherings organized without permission. The DIG further stated that most of those arrested since October 30th for violating the quarantine rules have been booked and fined by the courts. That was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya. Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
On Watchlight tonight, an unidentified disease has killed over 350 cattle in the Kilinochchi during the last 3 days. Farmers say the disease started to spread among the cattle following the recent Hurricane Burevi, which caused widespread damage to cultivations and property in the north. They say cattle afflicted with the disease stop eating and drinking water, which eventually leads to their deaths. Cattle owners also said that the abdomens swell before they die. They request the agricultural authorities to help them to get rid of the disease. That came to you in Watchlight. Moving on with world news and the headlines first. India confirms 6 cases of new COVID variant. China and EU on verge of major investment deal. Pierre Cardin, French fashion giant, dies aged 98. 6 cases of the more contagious variant of COVID-19, first identified in the UK, have been confirmed in India. The 6 individuals who returned from the UK are being kept in isolation, officials said today. India joined a list of other countries last week in suspending flights to and from the UK. The new variant is considerably more transmissible than previous strains, but not necessarily any more dangerous, experts say. The variant, first identified in the UK, has also been detected in South Korea, Canada, and across Europe. The EU and China are close to reaching a long-awaited business investment deal, according to media reports. The pact, expected to be finalized this week, will give EU firms better access to the Chinese market and improve competition conditions. Talks on the investment deal began in 2014, but have been struck for years over a number of issues. But rising trade tensions between the US and China may have helped change the Chinese position, officials said. Legendary designer Pierre Cardin, whose futuristic and stylish designs help revolutionize fashion in the 1950s and 60s, has died at the age of 98. The French fashion giant's career spanned more than 70 years, and his modern style helped usher in the post-war golden age of couture. He also broke ground by bringing designer styles to the masses with some of the first ready-to-wear collections. A business pioneer, he also licensed his name for a wide range of products. Back to the world news headlines. India confirms 6 cases of new COVID variant. China and EU on the verge of major investment deal. Pierre Cardin, French fashion giant, dies aged 98. That ends world news. And on development news, the State Minister Nimal Lansa says that development activities on all main roads and provincial roads will be completed next year. He said that all road development activities disrupted during the time of the previous government has been recommenced by the present government. That's development news. Now we have sports news. India beat Australia by 8 wickets with a day to spare in the second test in Melbourne to level the series. The hosts were bowled out for 200 early on the 4th day, leaving India needing only 70 to win at the MCG. Debutant Mohammad Siraj took 3 for 37, including Cameron Green, who offered some resistance in making 45 for Australia. It was a remarkable turnaround for India, who were bowled out for 36 in an 8-wicket defeat in Adelaide just over a week ago. The third test of a thrilling 4-match series begins on the 6th of January in Sydney. That was sports news. And now we continue with business news. The government has commenced the program to empower 25,000 female entrepreneurs. The government has allocated relevant funds from the budget. At least one female entrepreneur from each Grama Seva division in the country will be empowered for this program. The State Minister Shehan Semasinghe says that by this project, the government will be able to create a powerful supply chain throughout the country. That came to you in business news.
Economic news, courtesy of...
Congratulations on your promotion. When will be our treat, huh?
How about today?
Oh no, I was just joking.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
The Department of Motor Traffic has decided to hand over the printing of driving licenses to the Sri Lanka Army. Accordingly, the printing of driving licenses will be carried out by the Sri Lanka Army from the 1st of January, according to the Department of Motor Traffic. The Motor Traffic Department noted that a South African company has been printing driving licenses in Sri Lanka for 11 years, and with the decision of the new government to cancel the agreement after coming to power, it will be possible to save a large amount of money in the country, which has so far been attached to a foreign company. The Department of Motor Traffic states that between 60,000 to 90,000 new driver's licenses are issued per month. That was economic news.
Hello, Puta. Did you land already?
We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy.
Calm down, everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge.
LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
And now to conclude the weather report, the Met Department says several spells of showers will occur in the northern, eastern, north-central, northwestern and Uva provinces and in the Matale district. Showers or thunder showers will occur at several places in the Sabaragamu and western provinces and in the Gaul, Matara, Kandy and Nuwara districts. Fairly heavy showers above 75 millimeters can be expected at some places in these areas, particularly in the evening. Meanwhile, our correspondents in the Colombo city reported that heavy rains experienced in many places in the city. Several roads have gone underwater, causing traffic congestion in some places. That was the weather report. And now to end this news broadcast, the main points once again. A systematic program will be implemented to disinfect school premises before they will be opened on the 11th of January next year. Another flight carrying more Ukrainian tourists arrived at the Matala airport. The army chief said that they would discuss as to which COVID-19 vaccines will be recommended by the WHO for Sri Lanka. The total count of COVID-19 cases reported in Sri Lanka reached 42,056. Police say a special operation will be launched island-wide from today to Thursday to arrest quarantine regulations violators. And on news overseas, India confirms 6 cases of new COVID variant. That ends this news broadcast, and now it's back to my good friend, as well as yours, Victor Raj.
Thank you, Tilani. That was Tilani Pires giving you the news on Radio Sri Lanka. 2 minutes to 9 o'clock. This is Radio Sri Lanka.